Welcome back, it's 9, and today we are going to be discussing more PlayStation 5 news. We're going to be going more into video games this time than just console news. I think it's important to highlight game updates as well. So with that said, we are going to be talking about Final Fantasy 16, we're talking about The Last of Us 2 multiplayer, and lastly, we'll be going over a poll of where I asked you guys which PlayStation studio is your favorite, and it was a really close one and also very interesting. Now, before we get into that, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, and hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. Now let's get right into it, and let's start with Final Fantasy 16 targeting a mature age rating. This comes from pushsquare.com. So there was a tweet sent out at This Is Zell, and it says FF16 confirmed M rated. That's huge. So if you guys know, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, they wanted to target a T rating, so they ended up toning back a few things, such as blood and such as themes like more mature sexual themes that you would have seen in the original that we didn't see in the remake, and there's a plethora of reasons why they went that way. So some of it I get, and some of it was just to target that T rating, and it looks like FF16 doesn't care. They're looking to do everything they want to do. The trailer showed us there's a lot of blood, there's a lot of violence, there is just a lot of mature themes in there. So this is a confirmation that we are probably not going to be getting any watered down experience when it comes to the themes and violence and everything that is expected in Final Fantasy 16. For me personally, I like this because when I play a game like Final Fantasy, for example, I like them to do everything they want to do as creatives, right? They want to basically express themselves, and they don't want any limitations on that, within reason, of course. And I feel like with FF16, we're really going to see that. And the trailer really shows us that as well, because they're not holding back. They're showing violence, gore. I didn't see any sexual themes, but I imagine that that'll be in there as well, being that Final Fantasy previous titles have had that before. And it's not necessarily a big deal to have that, right? It's a mature game, so therefore you're going to expect mature themes. Overall, I'm pretty happy about this. I want to see them do something like this without stuff holding them back. No barriers. Just go out and create the best project you can create. And given the team that's come together to make this, I have a lot of faith in them. I really believe that they're going to make a really good product. I think I can confidently say that, especially after what happened with Final Fantasy VII Remake, where some of the fan base was split. Now, overall, that game was good. I enjoyed it. I gave it an 8.3 out of 10, but I felt there was some work that needed to be done with that game, and maybe Part 2 will fix that. But being Final Fantasy 16, I can't wait to play this game, and I can't wait to see just what it's like over on the PS5. Now, on to our next topic. We're talking about The Last of Us 2 multiplayer, and Neil Druckmann says it will be worth the wait. And this comes from pushsquare.com. Neil Druckmann sent out a tweet, and he says, "Thank you to all the wonderful fans for an incredible The Last of Us day. Your positivity and love is incredibly inspiring. Oh, and about that other thing, be patient, it'll be worth it," and he puts a heart. Now, we've been waiting quite a while for that Last of Us 2 Factions multiplayer. You know, some of us were disappointed it didn't launch with it, and some others were okay waiting for that. So it looks like they have definitely not forgot about that, and they are working hard at it, and maybe, just maybe, we'll see it for the launch of the PS5. We don't know. It could happen. Maybe it doesn't happen. I do wonder if it'll be a standalone as well. It's interesting. I think Factions has like a die-hard group. There's a die-hard group that loves Faction. If you guys know one of my good friends, Tajay, he's over on YouTube, Twitter, all these places, and all he talks about is The Last of Us because he has such a passion and love for it. And he's got an audience that is completely engaged in The Last of Us content, and I know they would be just clamoring for this and so excited for this. So I think it's great to hear that, you know, they're working hard at it, and maybe we're going to see it sooner rather than later. I would love to think that we're going to get it this year, hopefully when the PS5 launches, just as like a, hey, here's a extra thing for the PS5 and obviously PS4 as well. Now on to our last topic, and this is all about that PlayStation Studio poll that I put out. You know, we got a lot of votes on this one, 1,500 votes. And I asked you guys which PlayStation Studio is your favorite. We had Naughty Dog, Insomniac, Sucker Punch, Sony Santa Monica, and then there was other, just because I only have 5 options. And I wanted to pick what I believe to be the most popular ones. Coming in first place, Naughty Dog had 36% of the votes. Second place, Sony Santa Monica had 30% of the votes. Third place, Insomniac, 22%. And fourth place, Sucker Punch at 8% and 4%, said some other studios. Mentions that unfortunately I couldn't fit in the poll. Guerrilla Games, obviously a huge studio that is doing some incredible stuff there, and so I wish I could have included them. I wonder if I actually would have been voted for more than Sucker Punch. But Naughty Dog getting at 36%. Sony Santa Monica with the second place. And honestly, in my opinion, Insomniac is not their best studio, but they're my favorite studio. They're the most productive studio. They put out the most content. And so I really enjoy Insomniac games like Sunset Overdrive, one of my favorite games of this generation. I hope it comes to the PS4. That would be amazing. But I don't know if that'll happen. But overall, these are some grade A studios. I really feel like you can't go wrong, right? There's just so many different options. And a lot of people were saying, man, it's hard to choose. These are all incredible selections, and it's like choosing your favorite child. It's just too hard to do. So I want to go over a couple comments, the most liked comments. And the first one comes from Eddie Hu. He says, Insomniac is the best. How many other studios put out AAA groundbreaking games every other year? They are making at least 4 games right now. Insane. And I completely agree. He got 15 likes on that. And I think that's exactly where I stand as well. They are productive. They are consistent. They put out good games every single time they put out a game. And they've got a lot of projects on the go right now. So it really shows that they are a very high quality studio. Not to say that these other studios aren't great. They are. But Insomniac, their output is amazing, and I don't think any other studio in the industry does this. So I gotta applaud them on that. They're definitely my favorites. And one more comment that comes from Galvatron says, not putting Guerrilla in there is shameful. And I completely agree. It is one of those top tier studios, and I swear if it wasn't just 5 options, I would have thrown them in there. Because if I didn't put other, then people say, well, I don't like either of these studios. I want to put, Japan studio. It's just like, I can't fit every single studio. There's so many good ones that come from Sony, so it's one of those things. But I do agree, Guerrilla is definitely becoming one of their best, especially after Horizon. I never was a fan of Killzone, but Horizon was something else. That was a great game, especially a studio that goes from making first-person shooters and then going over to a third-person action-adventure game. Absolutely incredible. Very happy with the product that they made. So yeah, special shout out to Guerrilla Games. But I had only 5 options, guys. So I apologize for that for anybody who felt that they weren't able to properly vote for their decision. Now I do these polls. I try to every single day. I try to think of a question that is difficult, right? Something that is going to make you guys think hard about what your selection is. I never want to give you an all of the above option, because if I do that, everybody's hitting all of the above. Nobody's going to be like, I only like one studio. That's just not going to happen. So I want to make it challenging. I want to make you guys choose. I want you to make you guys think hard about it. So I hope you guys are enjoying these polls. It seems like you are from the comments that I'm getting. So we'll continue doing that. And every time I have room to throw one in a video, I will do that. Now, I'm going to pass this on to you guys. And I'm asking, number 1, what do you think of Final Fantasy 16 targeting a mature rating? Do you think that this is going to end up being a better Final Fantasy without all these boundaries of staying within that T rating? What do you think of The Last of Us 2 multiplayer coming? Do you think it's going to be a separate installment, like a standalone? Do you think it's going to be an addition onto The Last of Us 2? And do you think it's going to come out this year? And lastly, which studio did you vote for when it came to which PlayStation studio is your favorite? It doesn't have to be on the list. You can tell me anyone you really enjoy in the comments. As always, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos. Hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. Follow me on Twitter. Link will be in the description. And last but not least, share this video with your friend. I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Take care.